Massive Mueller scandal just resurfaced. He's been exposed. Since he was named as special counsel tasked with realizing all of the vain hopes of the Democrats and never Trump Republicans, the mainstream media have lionized Robert Mueller III as the epitome of a modern-day Eliot Ness. His record as the former director of the FBI tells a much different story. Many of these scandals are now making the rounds thanks to the alternative media during his time as the FBI director for the administration of George W. Bush. Mueller consistently lied to Congress, oversaw massive fraud, and helped to push America into an unnecessary war based on false intelligence reports, according to Gateway Pundit. In order to get the full measure of this man, it is best to take his various scandals one at a time. First of all, in terms of the routine work of the FBI, the apprehension of wanted felons, Mueller's years were uneventful. He served the Bush administration, which faced the crisis of 9/11 in its first year, and Mueller's FBI became one of the primary agencies tasked with fighting the war on terror. Even here, Mueller flubbed. In 2002, Mueller claimed that another terrorist attack was inevitable. He was not wrong, but off by many years, and that the U.S. act aggressively in order to counter the threat. In the lead-up to the invasion of Iraq in 2003, Mueller testified before Congress that Saddam Hussein did have weapons of mass destruction, WMDs, and that the Bush administration intelligence reports were rock solid. In 2003, Mueller took part in a major fiasco engineered by the Bush administration. This supposedly, quote, conservative government airlifted $12 billion in cash to Iraq in order to help with reconstruction and administration costs. The money promptly disappeared. Between 2002 and 2004, Mueller's FBI began illegally spying on American citizens, including anti-war groups all across the country. Mueller later lied about the FBI warrantless spying to Congress in 2006. In 2007, long before America learned about Hillary Clinton's private email server, Bush administration officials were caught using Republican National Committee computers to send official communications back and forth. This violation of the Presidential Records Act led to the deletion of millions of emails. Sound familiar? In that same year, it came to light that wounded U.S. troops were being subjected to squalid and unsafe conditions at the Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington, D.C. Mueller and other government officials told their underlings to keep things, quote, quiet, and to cut off all potential whistleblowers. While serving the administration of Barack Obama, Mueller oversaw the deployment of Operation Fast and Furious, a gun-walking scandal where U.S. officials sold guns to Mexican narco terrorists in order to track the movement of the weapons. This policy resulted in the killing of Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. The Obama administration still has not fully disclosed the true nature and extent of this policy. Under Mueller's watch, the IRS began targeting conservative groups, some of which were aligned with the Tea Party in order to revoke their tax exemption statuses. The IRS has only now fully admitted that certain groups were targeted. evidence about Mueller's past activities on behalf of the Democratic agenda continue to surface. Do these affect his ability to serve as an independent special counsel? Finally, the most recently uncovered scandal involves the handover of highly enriched uranium, HEU, from the Republic of Georgia to Russian officials. In 2009, Mueller delivered samples of this uranium to Russian officials in Moscow. There is some indication that this official handover was part of the Clinton Foundation's deal to sell 20% of America's uranium holdings to Rosatom, a Russian company backed by the Kremlin. All of this evidence shows one thing clearly: Robert Mueller is no independent investigator. He has a long history operating on behalf of the same Democrat and Republican forces that are currently trying to dismantle the Trump administration and its America First agenda. This is sad to even report on. And yet nobody has the guts to confront him and fire him and call these people out for who they really are. Why? Because connections to the deep state. You go against the deep